Hari Om, Bhaja Govindam chanting, verses 11 to 15.
Ma kuru dhana jana yauvana garvam harati nimeshat kala sarvam Mayamayamidam akhilam buddhva brahma padam tvam pravisha viditva Dinayaminyau sayam pratah shishiragasantau punarayataha Kalah kridati gacchatyayuhu tadapi namunchatyashavayuhu Kate kanta dhanagata chinta vatulakim tavanasti niyanta Trijagati sajjana sangati reka bhavati bhavanavatarane nauka Jatilo mundi lunchita keshaha kashayambara bahukrita veshaha Pashyannapi chana pashyati mudho yudara nimittam bahukrita veshaha Angam galitam palitam mundam dashana vihinam jatam tundam Vriddho yati gridhitva dandam tadapi namunchatyashapindam
Sahana bhavatu sahanau bhunaktu saha viryankaramavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti. In the three worlds, association with the good alone becomes the boat to cross the sea of existence. If you have to get out of the samsara, this is very simple. All that you have to do is what? Just get onto this boat. Yes, just get on. This boat example is a very, very famous one, as I did mention to you. The boat carries you from one shore to another shore. You jump into that and you just get on to the boat. It takes you automatic. You don't have to do anything. And we can stretch that example a bit also there. You know, it's very interesting. You can stretch it. It will accommodate. That's the problem. You know, in examples, every example has X amount of elasticity. You know, you can stretch it. If you can little more also, you can stretch. But if you stretch beyond, it will break. Like that. This examples, you know, has a fantastic, dimensions. The first aspect is it takes you from one shore to another shore. Number one, the ship, the boat. Two is the captain is the one who steers the boat. Then the captain steers the boat to the desired destination using the compass. He has a compass. Then the boat takes you from the harbor to harbor. It takes you from one harbor to another harbor. And from that harbor, you have to get into the city. This is what I called as a stretching a bit. You can stretch a little. After the ship goes to the harbor, you get down the harbor and go into the actual city. Now we take one by one the points. The satsang is like a boat, it says. What it will do, it will take you right up to the harbor, it will take. You don't have to worry. It will take you to the harbor. There is no problem. Then comes the second one. The captain and the ship. Now, of course, I missed one more point in between. The journey is such a pleasant journey. It's a, dry journey. Even though you are traveling right through in the water, how are you, sir? Not a drop comes and touches you. You are fully protected. There's a complete protection. This is the essential point here. In Satsanga, essential point what is communicating is this. The journey is such a comfortable journey. That's all it is. You don't have to worry. Just get on to it. After that, you are taken care of. That's what it is. Now, what is this? Satsang, sir. It's a boat, it says. Now we come to our concept. Now, this is the comparison. Now we come to our ideas. Now, the boat is the satsang. You get in. Then there is a guide. Who is the captain there, sir? The captain is the guru. If you externalize, if you internalize, it's your intellect. You pluck your intellect and keep it outside. That is a guru. Guru is a personification of your intellect. That's all. He steers, he directs, but he doesn't direct on his whims and fancies. No, he directs it with reference to a compass. Without a compass, a captain will not be able to steer the boat. Similarly, without the reference of this compass called the Shastras, the scriptures, externally, the guru will never direct you. All his actions will be as per the scriptures, as per the rules, as per dharma. So he keeps the scriptures as the reference point and conducts the boat. He takes the boat. You just get into it. He is taking it. He is moving in the direction. See, the boat is going anyway. Whether you get into the boat or not, the boat is not going to wait for you. The boat will go anyway. So, a guru will be functioning anyway, keeping the reference of the Shastras. If you associate with him, you get it. This is external. If you internalize the same thing, your intellect becomes the captain. Then internally, your conscience becomes the compass. So, in that example, this captain and the compass is the critical part. Externally, you dramatize, it is Guru and Shastra. You internalize, it is intellect and conscience. Because Guru and Shastras are just representatives of Buddhi and conscience. That's all. They just represent it. Because they are personified, they are established in that. Guru has the establishment of his intellect. That's why he is a Guru. And under what basis he decides how he functions, sir? Like in the Gita, he says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karya Karya Vyavastitau. Therefore, let the Shastras be the Pramana, authority, to decide what is to be done, what is not to be done, what is right and what is wrong, what is appropriate, what is inappropriate, what is higher, what is lower, what is dharma, what is adharma. Who has to decide that? You can't be deciding it. Who should decide? The Shastra should decide. It is externally talking. Put it outside you, it becomes that. Inside you, it is this. Like, as long as a person alive, we say, how are you, sir? What are you, sir? Where are you, sir? When are you coming? And all those things. When a person dies, what do you say? When are they taking the body? They ask. Crematorium, when you are calling and inquiring, you never inquire when are they, going to the crematorium. No. When are they taking the body? That's all. Now it is what? It's inert. One stage it is treated as a live being, another stage it is treated as inert. Two different angles. Same way, in two different angles, it looks like this. The captain, the Guru, will be steering the boat. All that you have to do is what? Just get into it. How will it be, sir? The journey is such a pleasant one. And, you have to get into the boat to understand it. There is no way that you can, stand here and try to understand it. It is not possible. You have to get into the boat. You have to jump in. Only then you can understand. It's like how much ever you keep the gulab jamun in front of you, you will never know the taste of it. You can read the thesis after thesis on gulab jamun. But you have to take it out and put it in your mouth. The only way to know is what? It's like a man who is born blind went through the eye surgery. And this man was desperately wanting to see the world, want to get back his vision. He's so desperate. He's so anxious. But that anxiety, he gets a fear. The fear is what? What's a guarantee? The operation is successful. So he is asking the doctor, when they are about to remove the bandage, they remove the bandage and all those things, and now they are saying, the doctor is telling the patient now, hey, open your eyes. The patient says, doctor, I can't afford to get disappointed. If I open my eyes and if it is not working, I can't take it. Therefore, give me the guarantee that I can see. Operation is successful. Then I will open my eyes. He will perennially what he has to do. He has to keep his eyes closed. There's no option. Yes. The only way to know whether your surgery is successful or not is what? You have to plunge. You have to take the risk of opening the eyes and see. And that's where our problem is. Our problem is exactly like that blind man. Now, poor fellow. We can understand. We can sympathize and say, correct, man. You can't blame him. You see, because he is so desperate to see the world. Now he can't afford to lose. Then what to do? The only option is what now? Open. But he goes on saying, the tug of war between the doctor and the patient goes on happening. He says, just open, man. Okay, little bit you open. He says, no, no, no. Why? When you little open, you won't see anything. You know that? You try, not now, after the class. You close your eyes, open a very little. Can you see anything? You will not see anything. And that fellow says what? I tried. See, it didn't work. Therefore what? Yes. Now, how would you convince him? Just get onto that, he says. Just jump into that boat, man. All that you have to do is what? Get on. Problem solved. Yes. Our thing is what? The involvement with the things is so much so. Even in your deathbed, you will not say. Even in deathbed, you will be thinking of what? Like a typical Jew, you will be worried about your shop. Even in deathbed, the fellow asks what? What happens? That's what one fellow says. Moses was walking around in the desert and the mountain. God came and said, I am giving you commandments. He said, I don't want it. Keep it. God came again and said, hey, I'm giving you commandments, man. Said, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. Third time, God understood what he's saying. God said, it's free. Okay, then give me 10, he said. That's how they got 10 commandments. Otherwise, God was not willing to give 10. He just said, I'm giving you certain commandments. Free now. Free. So this is the equation. The boat, the captain, compass. The boat is the satsang, association, contact, relationship. Build that relationship. Never compromise on that relationship. 1. 2, the compass. Compass has 2 aspects. Similarly, captain also has 2 aspects. Captain, 2. One side, guru, other side, intellect. Compass, one side, shastra, other side, conscience. Then comes the other aspect. What is it? It takes you smoothly. There is no problem for you in that journey. It takes you right up to this harbor. Then what you have to do? You have to jump out. The jumping out and crossing that harbor is meditation. You merge you get into the city. Because harbor is somewhere, you know that, no? Harbor is far away. And then from there, they have to come into the things. Just because it's like, airport. Just because your flight has landed doesn't mean you have got into the city, isn't it? You have to cross the immigration. Isn't it? Only then you are in the city. You have entered that country. Like that, there is a space. That boat example gives that also. Just have to jump out and get in. That's the meditation, which is little stretching only, actually speaking, but it accommodates that also. To that extent, yeah, we can take it perhaps. Yeah. So I suppose it's fine. Right. Because there's a quick question about this captain and compass. God comes into the category of the destination. God is not the compass. God is the other side. One side is ego, other side is God. One side is samsara, other side is moksha. God is sitting in moksha side. So God, if you want to fit in, where you fit in God, sir? God is in the other side, is in the other shore. That is God. From verse 14, the entire discussion takes a very interesting turn. See, he has been discussing about desire, all those things. You see, now the whole discussion moves into the direction of how do you deal with desire? You see, how are you to manage your desires? How do you have to handle your desires so that you will outgrow that, you will go beyond that and reach to realization. These four verses, beautiful explanation. And if you read that four verses, any possibility you can think of in terms of how to deal with a desire, only four chances you will get. And he proves in these four verses, all four methods are ineffective. Very, very depressing part. But one of, very interesting one. See, you just, what, that's how we are supposed to study. If I were to teach people, how I would prefer is like this. I'll come up to 13 and stop here and say, okay, I'll give you 1 week now. Start thinking in terms of how to, what all that methods that you have adopted, one can adopt to handle his desires, your weaknesses, your likes and dislikes. How would you deal with it? See, he gives 4 beautiful methods, very, very popular, and factually you can't think beyond that 4. And every method he is going to explain and say is wanting, is not complete, is ineffective. Beautiful verses. See, that's 14. He gives one angle, right? 14. Jatilo mundi chitakesha काषायाम्बर बहुकृतवेशः पश्यन्नपि च न पश्यति मूढो उदरनिमित्तं बहुकृतवेशः जटिलो मुण्डी लुञ्चितकेशः काषायाम्बर बहुकृतवेशः पश्यन्नपि न पश्यति मूढो उदरनिमित्तं बहुकृतवेशः. One with matted locks, one with head shaven, one with hair pulled out, one disguised variously with ochre robes. A fool, though seeing, sees not. Indeed, varied disguise is for the sake of belly. Totakacharya is supposed to have been given by this, one of the disciple, Shankara, Totakacharya. He is the one who gave the Totakashtakam, very, very popular one. Text is the Totakashtakam. And he has given one more text, beautiful one. It is also, this is not very popular, but it's very rarely, very technical people only know the text. Is that, the Shruti Sara, Samudharana. This is where he explains the aphorism, Tattvamasi. A small one, not a very big one. It's only about 150 verses or so. It is. And 170 verses or so it is. That's all. A small text. That also in that same meter, Totaka. Totaka is a particular meter in in this Sanskrit poetry, and that's also given in that same meter only. Very complicated meter, supposed to be. Totagacharya. He's the one who says, one with matted locks, Jatila, matted locks. Is that's what the people who practice the spiritual things, they take the jata. That's what Rama also did when he went to this one. He put a jata, this one, and which he removed after finishing that 14 years and come back. So it's the entire thing is like that. So they are supposed to do that. Matted locks. They lock that. That is what we see. Nataraja dancing. You see that Nataraja dancing. Nataraja picture, if you see, it will look like they have kept 4 fans. That's what they do nowadays. It's like 4 fans are there and the hair is flying. That's how we see heroines and all. No, when you see the movies, you've not seen. Next time you see heroine introduction, they'll put a fan actually, in front. You'll go. That's how Shiva also appears like. I say, why the hair is flying like this? It shows they say, to fly that much means how much air must have been generated. That speed he is spinning, it seems. And in that speed, I don't know how he got that posture. You see that? It's one of the, imagination to the peak is that Nataraja, dance. Unbelievable one that was. And these people say, some neutron, proton, electrons, it looks, so shabby. It looks, and they say in NASA, they have put, Nataraja. So what? It doesn't mean anything. But imagine, see, for a person to come to that posture, if you see all the dancers, when they come to the posture, they stop. When you stop, what will happen to the hair? Hair will fall down. No. For Nataraja, it's not falling down. It is still in the air. That means what? Fan down. There's no other option. You can't imagine. I said, when I saw that, I asked 2-3 dance, my daughter learns, dance. I asked her, Nataraja, she got really annoyed, He said, you are making fun of Nataraja. I said, I'm not making fun here. You see, no, I said, imagine, how that visualization must have happened to those people. I say, unbelievable there. It's so inspiring to see it. Even though it is one side is so funny, but other side is so inspiring. Matted locks, I was just reminded of that. Reading that matted locks. Only Shiva and Rama only come to our mind. They put that jata. It's a spiritual, discipline that is. The jata when they have, there is a ritual. They put it up. There is a ritual. To remove that, there is a ritual. They are supposed to follow that. They do it. So one group of people do like this. Then there is another group of people. What they do, sir? Mundi. Mundi means shaven. It's not shaven. This is full. They shave off the head. Another group. Then there is another group of people. They are amazing. What they do, sir? They lunchita kesha. What they do is they pull out hair one by one, pluck it out. There's a group. There is a satire reference to this Buddhistic monks and Jain monks. Here, it's a very subtle reference to them. That direct reference only actually. Only they do it. So Orthodox fellows, what they do, sir? Those fellows put matted locks. Right. All this. Now you go to that, what is it? Kumbh Mela, they say, If you see in that Kumbh Mela, you'll see all this, Aghoris and these fellows, that fellow, a lot of fellows come. You see all of them, they all will have matted locks. No maintenance. What it means is you don't apply oil, you don't, comb properly, you don't, buy shampoo, conditioner, nothing of that sort. No oil, no shampoo, no conditioner, nothing. Matted locks. Another fellow, fully shaven. What is a Buddhist? Like that it is. Another group is like Jain. In Jain there is a practice. What they do is they pluck out one by one. This one. Third. Then he comes and attack. Fascinating one. That's the courage of these masters. To speak the truth. Kashayam vara bahukrita vesha. Ambara is the dress. Kashaya means ochre color dress. Ochre robe. This disguised variously with ochre robes. They put on that ochre robe in different methods. You know that. The same dhoti we have, no? Dhoti or the sari, we use in India. Ladies, wear sari. I have to search, is there anyone wearing sari nowadays? There's people, nowadays no sari and all that. Sari, they say there are about 89 to 97 ways of wearing sari, it seems. Different methods. And the best part is there is no rope. You know that. Dhoti also, there's no rope. It's just a piece of cloth. How many varieties, we wear that same way. He says, just that piece of cloth, man, ochre color cloth. You put it in one way, you are this. You put it in another way, you are this. You are a South Indian Brahmin, you wear this in one way. South Indian Iyengar in another way. Same piece of cloth, man. Big deal, Madhwas wear in another way. Another one there. Then Bengali Brahmins in one way. Then this one that way. This one, each one wearing it in one style. As though it is so important. That's what is important for all of us. See, that's what he is saying. Disguised, so many things you do. All that is for what? He says, all this is for what? Udhara nimittam bahukrita veshaha. All this is only for what? For the sake of belly. That's all. It means what? Just for survival. That's all. Just to, put on a show. A show of spiritual than being spiritual. The concentration is more in terms of showing good to the world than being good. I wanted to show to the world that I am a good person. I am a spiritual person. The focus is more on that. The accent is more on the demonstration of spirituality, goodness, evolution, all those things, rather than becoming it, being. See, I want to present myself as a spiritual person. What is there to be a spiritual person? Why do you want to put up a show? Everywhere you put up a show. It's just a show, that's all. How do you show that? He beautifully describes. One group of fellow, matted locks. Another group of fellow, shaven head. And it's very interesting. In the Shastras, they refer hair. Why he's using hair as an example is, hair is equated to your desires. Very interesting comparison. Another comparison we have. The comparison is this. Hair means what, sir? Desire. The one who gives more attention to hair means he is giving more attention to desire. That's all. How is it? Hair products means what? Desires are increasing. Not literally, I'm just joking. Okay. But the comparison is correct. The comparison is this. Why is, if you see hair, it's a dead cell. You know that? Hair is actually a dead cell. It has no life in it. That's why when you give a haircut, there's no pain for you. You don't get pain. When you do a haircut, there's no pain. That's why we give to God. Tripadi Balaji. You pray for what? You get me that 1 crore contract. I will give my hair to you. Why? No pain. You see, one. Another fellow said, Adillada, real reason. The real reason is what? It will grow again. In fact, they say it grows better. And you do the cutting, all that. Otherwise, split ends come, no? Hair split end comes. So when you trim your hair, it grows better. Actually, you trim and trim and trim. Now there is no hair now to trim. Why is that? There is no life to it. But it grows. Sir, the law of nature is what? Anything grows has life. How can lifeless grow? Lifeless things cannot grow. That's the law. That's why a rock never grows. The rock will never grow. The tree grows. Why? Because there is life in it. Animals grow. Why? There is life in it. Humans grow. Why? There is life in it. But we do see here, there is no life in the hair, but it grows. Defying the nature. Very interesting. Is that? Your desires has no meaning, no substance in it, but it grows and grows and grows. And the root of the desire, you never know. Similarly, the root of the hair, we don't know. Is it? Because it is underneath. It's below the skin. Similarly, the root of your desires, which is vasana, which is ignorance, that you don't know. That you don't deal with. All the time you are caring is only for what? Dealing the surface. If you want to deal with it, you have to deal at the root. You want to nourish the hair, what they say? Don't apply oil to your hair. Apply that oil and massage your scalp, they say, isn't it? Why do you apply in the scalp? Because the nourishment has to go into the roots. Then the hair growth happens. You see? Now, if you have to deal with your desires, don't deal with it at the superficial level. Go to the very root cause of it. What is it, sir? The root of your desire. That is your ignorance. So long as that ignorance is there, what will happen? You cut your hair, what will happen, sir? That's why, shaving is such a spiritual experience for us. Every day I get really amazed to stand in front of the mirror and to see, I completely cut it off. So smooth I cut. Next day morning, I go and stand there. I see it is protruding out. It's there. Again you cut. Again it comes. Again you cut. Again it comes. But there is no life to it. There is no substance to your desires. There is no meaning to it. From where it comes there, that we don't know. But it comes from somewhere. That ignorance is there. That's why the hair is compared to desires. That's why when a student gets initiated, when they go through the thread ceremony, what they do is they shave off the front portion. Have you seen these priests, these Brahmins and all, they shave off the front portion of the head and leave the hair growing on the backside. What they are saying is, I am not going to be promoting the worldly desires, and I'm going to be entertaining spiritual desires. One set of desires I am not going to entertain. Another set of desire I am going to entertain. What is it? To study the Shastras, to serve the Guru. That sort of desires I am going to grow, entertain. The front portion they go on shaving. That's the significance of these people doing it. It's a very interesting phenomenon they do. But most of them don't know why they're doing. They say we are doing it. Why? Because you're supposed to do it. We have to have it. He said, no. You have to do it for the reason. Reason is hair is represented to liken to our desires, because the pattern is same. Behavioral pattern is similar to that desires. Therefore, they say, why don't we use it? So that's why all these methods were used by people. Once fellow says what? The way to deal with desire is what? Don't worry about it, man. Ignore it. Many times we say no. If there is a problem, you tell a fellow, I have a problem. Wow, what should I do? Hey, don't pay attention to it, man. Leave it alone. Leave that. Ignore. Don't pay attention to it. When you don't pay attention to it, is the method of the first fellow. What is that? Mattered locks. No attention being paid. Second fellow says, completely chop off. No. Outright denial. Outright you say nothing. No preferences, no desire. Mango has come, season has come now, and there is this, Alfonso mango is there, and then Banganapalli is also there. When this mango they sent, I say I'll have Alfonso only, not this one. This you have, I say. Why? I like that. No, how can you like mangoes? You should not like mangoes. You should not like this. You should not like that. Nothing is allowed. That's why all the Swamis, go fat. You see, the Swami is all fat. Why? Nothing is allowed for them. Whatever they want to see, they can't see. Imagine FIFA, Wimbledon finals. If I tell you people, they ask me, sir, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? I say, get me a ticket for Wimbledon final. Sir. Then why are you asking? Shut up. I asked you, finished. Not allowed. See, you can't see whatever I want to see. So many movies gets released. Why don't you buy a ticket and give? Till date, I haven't got a single ticket. This cricket match happens. Nobody has offered me. Not allowed. I can't go to Rajinikanth movie and start whistling there. Even if you go there quietly, you have to go and come back. Bahubali, no, not allowed. Out. So I can't see what I want to see. I can't come for this music concert. If at all we go to music concert, it should be only for what? Bhajans. Bhajans I can go, correct. If I tell you there is a new band has come, that's why most people, when they come with, people don't come with me in the car. 2-3 times it had happened. One fellow got a heart attack. The movie, the song I was listening to. Say, Nada, this song you listen to? I said, what's wrong in that, man? I said, it's a crime or what? Not allowed. Then, if I say that I want, this, what is that? That there is a musk. We have a particular musk, is there. Perfume. There is a particular brand. Musk brand is a fascinating one. Perfume. I say, I like that. Can you get me that? If at all we can have some, it means what we have to have. Agarbatti only allowed. That's all. Imagine that, I come there and I have this perfume with me. What do you think of me? Spiritual. But if agarbatti smell comes, you will think of me as what? What a spiritual fellow he is. Correct. And then skin, not to talk about. Right. I want to start any discussion on that. Not allowed. Only one thing is allowed. What is it, sir? Tongue is allowed. Everybody, you tell them, there is a Guru Purnima we are planning to have. First question asked is what? What should I bring for you to eat? That's all. as though my life is only eating. No other aspect is there. See? And these fellows also to do what? The frustration that is there in all other four not allowed, only one is allowed. Obviously, what will happen? Went out all the frustration of the other four in one and grow in size. That's all. Frustrated life. That is. Another fellow does what, sir? Pull out one by one. He says, desire by desire, pick up and operate. That's the third category of person. He says, what you should do, sir? No. Take one desire at a time. Deal with it. Then go to another desire. Then go to another desire. Desire by desire, you remove. This is the third fellow. All these fellows go through this various, disguises. Only for what, sir? Is Udhara Nimitta. Fascinating one. That's what Krishna, calls them as Mityachar. Hypocrite. It's such a hypocritical life. That's why the spiritual you go, 95% is hypocritical life only. See? Like this man, I remember, gave a beautiful one happened. There was a Swami in Ramakrishna Ashram, Chennai, in Ramakrishna Matta. They were, I used to visit, to that ashram to, see them sometimes. So when I go there, I go to their room and, help them out and all that. I used to go and sit with them and, invariably 90% of the time I'll go there and keep massaging their feet. That's all. They don't ask us to do anything else. I massage their feet and ask them, something or the other, they'll say. And when I was there, at that time, one person came, that, administrator of the Matt. He came to his room. And he said, come, he said. So I was sitting there, this man was there, and that man came and he was saying, Swamiji, we are planning to, do some alterations in the room. They will have to make some changes and all those things. So, because they are expanding at that time, they're just starting that expansion. So they first started to do the buildings. So in that remodeling, what are, we have decided to do this things, and we want your opinion on one thing. Say another, they are going to decide the curtains. There's a window, there's a curtain. He says, what curtain has to be there? And this man gave a reply, can't believe that. He asked, why do you need a curtain in my room? He said, why I need a curtain here? There's no need to have a curtain. Leave it open. Keep it open. No curtains. In his room alone, in that entire ashram, only in his room there is no curtain. Huge window next to the door. Door next to that is the window. There's no curtains. I said, I was so inspired. I said, why do you need curtains, man? Said, why do you need a curtain? Privacy. He said, why do you need privacy? That's what you are asking. Disturbance are, say, for whom? To whom disturbance? No curtains. No curtains for the windows. Transparency. There's no hypocritical life at all. These masters, they're amazing fellows. Like that. And that's what Ramakrishna gives a beautiful example. He gives, that's what he says here. The fools, he says, Muda. Those seeing, they seeing not. Pashyannapi na pashyati. Those seeing, though they know, though they understand, still they don't understand. They know it, but they don't know it. Looks, height of contradiction. How is it possible, man? Either you say you know it or you say you don't know it. No, they know it. It's not that they don't know it, but still they don't know it. What is it? What are they? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he calls those people as eagles. All these fellows are like eagles. What does it say? The eagle flies so high. You see? Flies so high. Many times you can't even locate them. The air, the sky. They are so high there. But their eye is always where? The carcass, the dead rat. The moment it sees the dead rat, from nowhere, what happens there? Just comes, picks and goes back. He's flying there, but eyeing there. All these fellows are like that, he says, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. That's what Shankara says. Udhara nimittam bahukruta vesha. All these fellows disguise. Why? It's only for the belly. Belly said, don't take literally as, stomach. What it means is all this is for what, sir? That desire. So they don't understand. They don't understand in the sense they, it is very easy to convince the world to be spiritual than to convince oneself. You know that? It's easy to convince another person. I have convinced successfully 68 people. But one fellow I am trying for the last 25 years. Couldn't succeed. The 68 conviction is very easy. The mission in life is to realize the self. It's easy to convince the world. But to convince oneself that mission in life is to realize the self. Oh, that's the problem. That is the real test. That's the real challenge of life. You see? That's what he says. Pashyanna pichena pashyati. He sees, but he doesn't see. Means intellectually he knows. He knows intellectually, yes, but still he doesn't understand the truth. He knows the principles of life. What is it? Attachment spells sorrow. He knows that. There's no big problem. But still what? My daughter, my wife, attachment comes. You see that? Now you can give lecture. There's no big difficulty. All that it requires is what? A little bit of intelligence. Little intelligence if you have, you can do it. So, unless you know, how can you speak? See, if you ask me to give a lecture on nuclear physics, it's not possible. Why? I don't know. I can speak on Bhajagovindam. Why? I know Bhajagovindam. Therefore, I can give a lecture on Bhajagovindam. So, what is it, sir? You know. But still what? Udhara nimittam bahukrita vesha. Still what? I have to come and sit in front of you with what? Dhoti, kurta, mala. I have to have one bottu. If I come and sit in t-shirt and shorts, you will think of me as what? Spiritual. So, I have to convince you people what? I am a spiritual person first. How do I convince? Bahukrita vesha. This is called Bahukrita vesha. Why? I have to come in that costume. You see? I have to come in that thing. I can't come as a normal fellow and talk to you. Now, why? There is, I'm not talking about, there is some decorum you got to maintain. Correct. I'm not talking about that. There is a social decorum. The minimum social decorum is needed. You don't need more than that. But the problem today is what? The show is so much. Like every year, it's all over the world. We have this problem. Any hall we go to organize a lecture series, Gita lecture series we organize, the halls. The hall management always have a problem with us. Because stage setup, we go. We tell them we will come in the morning 11 o'clock, evening 6:30 is the lecture. We tell them morning 11 o'clock we will come for stage setup. And they'll say, yes, all of us will be there, sir. Don't worry. This. And then we go. What do we carry, sir? We carry 3 buckets and 4 mops, brooms, and start cleaning the stage, mopping the stage. And they ask, no, we have done it already. We tell them, no, we'll do it again. I do it every year. I go there and mop. It's a fascinating one to see, clean the place. And then, they ask, okay, then what? Bring one table. We'll put one table there, 3 feet by 6 feet table. And then, avladhan. And then we put one blanket on that. And we keep one study table on top of that. Put a white sheet and cover that. And then that hall fellow asks, then? That's all. The flower decoration and all that. They say, no, we don't keep any of them. Then how do you do a program? No, it's just a lecture. Yeah, I know it is a lecture, but usually lecture means what people do, sir. It is a huge stage preparation. Why? And that person who is sitting and giving a lecture, their seat has to be designed how? A huge one. They say, why? How can you have? Yeah, so you come for the lecture hall, people get totally lost. And we tell them another problem they have is, they do is what, sir? They say, we need more light on the audience. They say, why do you need light on the audience? The stage only, no. He said, no. On stage, you just need enough for people to see the speaker. That's enough. You don't need more light on the stage. We need more light on the audience. Why do you need light on the audience? Now the speaker is speaking to the audience. No, I should see them, right? That's why we tell you people to keep the video on. If the video is not on, I can't talk. In the other class, I started talking something along. Suddenly I started giving, cricket commentary in the class halfway through. And then I realized, my God, I'm talking cricket now. Why? Because nobody's there in front of me. You can't talk to a blank screen, We are used to speaking to beings, not to screens. Hey, why you need that, sir? More light should be there. Just keep that light. Keep it clean. That's a different thing. Right? But why do you need that decoration? Right? Why do you need decoration? For teaching, why do you need decoration? Right? If it is, like for example, inside, this, marriage and all happens in the temple between God and goddess. There, it's a marriage. It's a utsam. In a utsam, what you have to do? How grand it has to be. There it is correct. You are going to give a lecture on Bhagavad Gita. Why do you need all these things? And I see people having, some pot there. And then inside a pot, there is a light coming. And then there is this decoration, that decoration. And the chair. And that fellow comes with, some, I say, my God, it is more of drama. That's what he says. Why is that? Why do you have to do all these things? Your job is what? To go and talk. If people are not going to listen to the talk, if they are not going to be paying attention to the talk, if they are not going to be giving, value to the knowledge, The value is going to be only if you have all these things. They are not qualified. Don't give. Full stop. No. It's not the audience need it. Who needs it? The speaker himself feels something big only if all these things are there. If nothing is around him, the speaker himself is not feeling like that. And that's what he is criticizing. And that's how you live, man. What? Spiritual life. How are you leading a spiritual life? All this is done for what? Udhara nimitta. You see, the tone here, remember, is not condemnation. It's pity. He's sympathizing actually. In the tone of sympathy, he's speaking. If you see it prima facie, it looks like he's criticizing. He's condemning these people. This is not condemnation, please. This is the tone of pity. Why? You have gone to the state of knowledge. You know it. See, still what is it? You are missing it. He says, what a sad state that is. I don't know how to communicate to you people that the distinction between the two, the tone. But because the prime facie, when you read it, it looks like he is actually attacking them. See, all they're bad. It's not bad. It is sad. It is so sad that it's so obvious. You see it, you know it, you understand it, but still you behave as though you are an idiot, a fool. It's called fool. You have put in so much of effort to cross the first hurdle of knowledge. You got it. Still, how are you behaving? As though you don't have it. This is what he says. One with matted locks. One with head shaven. One with hair pulled out one by one. Disguised variously with ochre robes. See, ochre robes, in our tradition, this ochre robe was introduced by Shankara. You know that. Before Shankara, in the tradition, there is no ochre robe given to the sannyasis and all that. Before that, sannyasi means you will just walk out. And they will use only white. That's about it. There's no ochre. Ochre color was introduced and brought in as a dress code by Shankara. And Shankara lived, all of you know, Shankara lived only up to 32. And he started this teaching, preaching and all those things 16. So which means that system was come into picture only 16 years. Within that 16 years itself, under the nose of Shankara, people started misusing the ochre robe. Now, why he brought in the dress color for sannyasis? For a practical utility, nothing else. You see that? There's nothing complicated there. It's very easy thing. That is, the tradition is this. Person, brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa. This is the equation. So 25 years of your life, you live as brahmacharya. Next to 25, grahastha. So, I marry, I get into it, and when I reach 50, the next generation is ready to get into grahasthashrama. Right? The moment the next generation gets into grahasthashrama, I have to move out of that space and give space to them. That is called vanaprastha ashrama. What does it? Nothing. Don't complicate. Don't think, Vanaprastha means something great and nothing of that sort. Vanaprastha ashrama means only one thing. What is it, sir? Kitchen should be handed over to the new arrival in the house. That's all. You see that? All these days, who was managing? This lady was managing it. Now, the new daughter-in-law comes. The day she arrives, what's the first thing to be done by mother-in-law? Hand over the kitchen. After that, all that family decisions has to be taken by the son who is married. Full stop. Give space to him to decide things. Retire. The moment your son comes into business, the father has to get out of business. And that's not what we do. Father will not give business. Mother will not give kitchen. That's fight. That's why there is no, joint family system now is not existing now. Why? Nobody wants to live, with the parent. They don't want to live. Why? Why they don't want to live? Because you are not vacating and giving space. Till you die, they have to wait. What is to be prepared for tonight dinner? That daughter-in-law has to take permission. He said, no. Whatever you cook, however is cooked in your house. This is called Vanaprastha. What is it, sir? The moment that person walks in, you move out and give space to them. But you are there to guide them. Right? Then what happens, sir? Then the next generation comes. Grandson grows. The grandson comes and he comes into Grahastha. So when the grandson comes into Grahastha, your son who is already in Grahastha should come out of it. Where he will come? He'll come here. At that point of time, what are you supposed to do? Now, don't stay there. Get out of the house. Get out of the house. That's all. Go to old age home. Our tradition promoted old age home. Actually, people say, in our culture, who told you? Don't know culture. Sannyasa is what? Don't go to one home. Take the whole world as your home and get out of the house. By the time the person comes to that stage, how old he will be, sir? 75. Right? 75-year-old will take to sannyasa. Now, when that person is 75, there is no problem. Smoothly goes out. In between, there is one new category came into picture. One fellow comes in between. He says, look here, I can't afford to go through this process of all those things. From brahmacharya, straight I want to go to sannyasa. Bypass grihastha and vanaprastha, take the highway and go to sannyasa directly. Bypass route. Now, there are two fellows. Two brahmacharis are there. One fellow is willing for marriage. Another fellow is not interested in marriage. Now, you are standing outside. You see these two fellows. How will you know? Usual nature is what for all of us? After this, next is what? Like once education is over, next is what? Take a job. After that, marriage. Standard one, no. Correct. In our system, that job is not there. Right. After education, marriage. That's all. So, those people did not know how to distinguish. Therefore, Shankara introduced this idea of, if this brahmachari who says, I want to bypass grihastha to go to sannyasa, take to a different color dress. The moment he wears that color, everyone around gets the idea of what? He is not interested. Otherwise, what will happen? Everybody will keep coming and asking that fellow, what? I have my daughter, my cousin's daughter is there, my neighbor's daughter is there. Will you be? And he has to go on telling everyone. Every time he meets a person, first thing he has to tell is what? Because the tejas in that brahmachari is so good that lustre will attract people. He'll say, how can I miss a boy like this to my daughter? So invariably they will do what? They come and ask. They come and request. Now, unnecessarily they have to go on explaining every time. No, I'm not interested. No, I'm not interested. Why all that disturbance? So Shankara said, it's easy. How do you solve it, sir? He said, all that we have to do is what? Take a different color. The color which nobody will use in the market. That color. Ochre color is not the color itself, will look weird actually. I don't know. You see that because of our Indian conditioning, we say it is so inspiring to see a sannyasi. But factually, if without all that, objectively, if you see that color, it's not a pleasant color to look at. You can't keep looking at it. It's a very, very, unpleasant color actually, that ochre color is. Why is that? They said, don't keep looking at me. That's what he wants. Don't come near me. Don't disturb me. For that, they chose a color. That's all. Why is that? A color which is not used by that society. In that social dimension, nobody uses that color. Right? Ochre color is not used by people. Dyeing is easier in his period. Today, if Shankara comes, I don't know which one, because today the technology has developed so much. The dyeing. That we play chess game. Today, chess game has got black and white. That was not the chess initially, It was red and black. Because they have not developed yet the technology of white dye. Initial one was actually red and black. Chess game. Why is that? Dyeing. See, during that period, easiest one to get, which is not used by these people, carefully he chose and gave that. Now, beautiful system that is. In terms of value, thinking, if you see, fantastic one. And it has a lot of significance also, apart from this. Now, we are not going into the significance of ochre color. The color which has to be distinct from the rest. That's all. The moment you see it, you understand he is a sannyasi. So that you don't go and disturb those guys. You don't go on asking them, what about this, what about that and all. Understood certain things straight away. That also got deteriorated during Shankara period itself. Very, very interesting message to all of us. What does it say? Any system introduced deteriorates in a short span of time. Any system in the world, remember this. Anything you do in the world, that's what Ramtirtha says. Reforming the world is like attempting to straighten the dog's tail. You bring it. Little loose you leave. You don't have to leave it also completely. Little relaxation is enough, but it will go back. Deterioration of any system is bound to happen. And that's why he says, Kashayamvara Bahukruta. In his own period, already people started abusing it. Why is that? The nature of humanity is to abuse the systems that is given to all of us. Anything given to that mind will abuse it. No matter what. Who does all those things? That's the best part. All these things, he says, is not done by an ignorant fellow. He says all this is done by a knowledgeable man. This is one way of dealing with the desires. One set of people. How they deal with it, sir? They deal like this. Through this methods. We'll see all the four, and then I'll compile the whole thing and give the last class. Okay. Right now you understand what they do in this verse. There's a disguised way of doing things. Right.